So I am curious, Katie, what excites you the most right now in this time and space, in this moment of human history, in your personal journey? What lights you up?
I am lit up from the ground up, literally from the earth through the plants, like the medicine of the plants that we have been so generously given, and the profound impacts that they get to have on humanity. And I'm totally alive with that right now. It feels so good.
Mm, medicine of the plants. Welcome, friends. This is Katerina and Katie. And in the time together, we are going to give all the glory to the plants that we worship. We worship the plants. I just saw
We
you
will-
and I just saw us running around the fire and like celebrating the plants.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
In
on the
ancient
reg. Every day, celebrate the plants.
so the magic of science of psychedelics is the theme that we've been feeling for this conversation that we're going to turn into a podcast, into a video, maybe a video series. Ooh, okay. And before we go any further, dear community, I'd like to introduce to you Katie, and she is such a star seed. Let's just go galactic right away. Total star seed, star seed a leader, visionary leader, who is a co-founder of an incredible company. And you're just such an inspiring entrepreneur for me. I love the way you create, the way you carry out the vision, the way you meet challenges that come with every entrepreneurship path, and the way that you always you're so devoted to your alignment, because you understand the principle of mycelium network, that a leader is consciousness of organization. And in order to shift organization, the leader takes responsibility to shift her consciousness. And you and I have been having these conversations for months now. And I'm really inspired that you pioneering and bringing this new way of leadership and understanding that you are a mycelium network of your company, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like being part of delivering plant medicine to the masses, we're also one with the plant. Like we've been offered this opportunity to be a messenger. And with that comes a lot of responsibility and, uh, a way in which that we have to rise up so that we can meet the masses with a way to connect with nature that maybe they wouldn't otherwise have, while also connecting with themselves and the network of that lies within the universe within us all.
Mm. You said bringing plant medicine to the masses. Can you expand on that, Katie?
So we have been creating products for the better part of 13 going on nearly 14 years in the space of cannabis and hemp and other plants, kratom, a series of herbs and other functional ingredients that are, along with functional mushrooms, of course, and the mycelium, that are part of people's everyday ritual, that have gone through other brands and have reached people all over the world, and certainly all over the United States, that people consume as part of their daily routine, as a way to activate, elevate, create, be part of the network that exists when you commune with the plants. And it's been a privilege and honor, and I take a lot of pride in the work that we do to deliver incredible products to the people. And there's no other way we would have been able to do it without the connection and the network of people and places and alignment of timing within this movement, that we were able to provide these plant products to so many people through the connections that we have, the brands that we support. And in that self is the network of the plants working towards delivering this medicine to the people.
What are some of the most memorable and moving testimonials or stories of transformation that you have heard from the customers who received healing or deep shifts from working with the plants that you support?
They are all ends of the spectrum. I want to say some of our, in the early years when edibles and other forms of delivery of certain plant medicine was new, we received testimonials of, a woman who was on the East Coast. She had an autoimmune disorder that left her basically debilitated. And for the majority of her life, she took a trip to San Francisco every year. And after, we would send her so much of our products, specifically in the space of candies, medicated with THC at the time. And she was able to get to a place that her pain was manageable. And she was able to, after 10 years, take that trip to San Francisco with her husband and live a comfortable life, because this was going to be something with her forever. That is on one end of the spectrum in our early years, to supporting people through devastation times like cancer and illness and things of that nature, to give them comfort care, to support them in the process with other treatments, Western medicine, and other treatments to support them in being able to be in remission. And it was so powerful, take them out of pain, while also supporting people with anxiety and depression and blocks in creativity. And some of these stories, I mean, it's on a regular basis that we get the feedback we do, which is why we continue, no matter the blocks that have come through. And most of you who know this space know it is not an easy space to pioneer. From the things that are so easy in every other industry that we don't have dialed in yet and fully supported yet. It's been challenging. And the whole purpose of what we do is to support people in optimizing their health and wellness and connecting to nature in a way that they otherwise wouldn't be able to, by activating the network inside of them that's connected to plants. And it's a profound network, and it's a profound space to be able to deliver to people, like unlock some access for them. And it's been a really fun ride. 14 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And it's also really fun and new to be on the edge of all the trends. Whatever the trend is, we're one of the first on the edge with it. And so, the mycelium network is alive right now.
Yay, I love it. I love it. Yes, this is where you and I are so similar, because I love being on the edge of consciousness, cutting edge techniques. And because I always ask what else is possible when we reconnect that circuitry and that network within. So I know how much you love to study and research. What have you discovered lately, Katie, about truly the science of psychedelics? And I'm curious about your research or discovery, something about what does it do to the brain, specifically helping us to become coherent, because that's the main challenge, right? We are split human beings. Our hemispheres are not talking to each other. So people, all this rise of mental health issues and everything that's happening is because people are chronically stressed out, and their body, the different parts of their bodies are not in communication. So I'm just curious, what have you researched and found lately?
So one of the ways that you can consider looking at this is think about highways, just a massive amount of highways, a live freeway, alive in our body. And if certain parts of those freeways are not open, they're not able to transfer, they eventually, it's almost like a dead zone within a transportation flow or a communication flow that's occurring within the body. And when we're shut off, no matter what that ailment or stress might be within us, the body is unable to communicate at its optimal level. So something that I have found, when you are taking psychedelics at any space, microdosing is something that is very is a big trending right now. It's a similar way to take things at a smaller dose and have the same impact on a cellular level. And so when you're taking psychedelics and you're activating with these plants, those dead zones within your body are reactivating. So these receptors inside of us inside of our brains, inside of our systems, they are reconnecting and reactivating in a way that they wouldn't have had access to before. And that is, I mean, that's one of the reasons this is so exciting, such an exciting time, because these plants have been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, supporting so many different networks, and humans being one of those networks that they can support to reactivate and enliven the systems, the receptors, and the network inside of our body to be in full communication, to be in coherence, to be able to release and receive this flow of energy through the network that's within us when it's all activated and running at like an equilibrium. You know, and everything's in flow. When it's not, it's stopped. So psychedelics really support a rapid reconnection for that to occur. Stimulation that would maybe not otherwise be able to get there with other medicines or things that people might take, you know. And it's not, you're not muting it. You're activating it. You're activating the receptors in your body to be able to communicate with these alkaloids of the plant on a cellular level inside, while it's like the fiber optics of our systems are firing and reconnecting.
I love the metaphor of the highways. It makes things so clear, because when I think about, DNA scientists talk about 98% of our DNA is junk. I think it's just not activated, right? So majority of people run on 2% of their potential, right? But what is possible when we take that 2% to 20% or then 30%, right? And on and on and on. And I like that right?
So amazing. Yeah. Being able to unlock it to a place of like releasing our limitations that we've set on ourselves, being able to reactivate and reconnect these parts of our body that have been basically dormant. It's like those roads not traveled when you see like the sign like detour this way, and you're like, oh, I can't get on that highway. Shoot. Well, how many of those are shut down inside of us,
I would love to dive into a mycelium conversation with you. When I watched mycelium documentary, my jar was open like this. I was so into that documentary because it was such a beautiful information that they were here as the first organisms, some of the ancient consciousness on this planet, right? And it works like a forest, and it communicates, and it has so much similarity to our brain. Like, what is happening? I want more people to understand the power of the mycelium. Anything you'd like to add to that, Katie?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is so exciting for me, because when I started working with mycelium over a decade ago in the functional space with a supplement company, one of the things that they shared with us, with it understanding the power of it, was how to view mushrooms, because it's quite overwhelming if you look at like what they are. And it's also like, maybe you really can't connect. So check this out. We all know what the internet is. We all know what the World Wide Web is. So imagine mushrooms as the internet of the forest. They are literally the web that connects every part of this earth together, literally every part of it. And they commune with all of the other species of the plants through this network. Again, we go back to this network, but it's literally the internet of the forest that communicates to all parts of the world, all parts of our planet, all parts of the earth, all different species on earth are being communicated. So when you look at it like the internet has all this information coming in, going out all the time, and continuing to expand and build upon itself. That's like the mycelium. There's so many different species. There's so many different benefits. There's some that you can eat and some that are just pretty to look at, but they all have their part in the ecosystem of the planet. And similarly, they when consumed, this was the ones that are consumable and good for you to take on both the functional and psychedelic side, you are activating that internet within yourself and connecting it with the internet of the forest. It's like, and then when you're connected to the web of all, you've got all three parts of all three dimensions, all this pieces of you, the super, the conscious, and the subconscious, all together aligned in one. And that's the power of mycelium. That's the power of being connected to this thing that's greater than yourself and that you are part of at the same time.
I love that so much, Katie. Yeah, I take lion's mate. I take all kind of mushroom blends on a consistent basis. It's because I really care about the health of my brain, and it's, I feel like my audience and my community, there's so many really creative entrepreneurs and visionaries and leaders who really care about their brains. So they will love our conversation because it's such a supportive ally, the mycelium. And then with the psychedelic side, I remember the psychedelic mushrooms have been guiding me, oh my goodness, for the longest time. For the 15 years, they were some of my earliest guides. And they have been so wonderful and so gentle, almost like angelic group consciousness is how I experience it whenever I work with psychedelics mushrooms. So pure, so angelic, and provided you do it in the set and setting, obviously, right? It's like psychedelics one-on-one, set and setting, respect and reverence.
100%.
Oh, yeah, we got to have that respect and reverence. And I really love that we can communicate with that angelic higher consciousness through these beautiful mushrooms.
Absolutely. I mean, I think on a psychedelic level, I've been similar. It was one of my first expansive activations at a very young age, probably younger than I even wanted to share, but yeah. So it's been a long time. I would like to think that it's been over 20 years plus of enjoying it. And I have to say that there's so many, the journeys are just always such a profound learning experience, such an incredible offering. It's always a really a connection deeper than some of the other things that where you're really feeling alive with this plant that's inside of you, you know, this fungus that's like working with you, allowing you to see things beyond what you would normally be able to experience and be able to feel and maybe be in a way that you wouldn't, while also doing all this incredible stuff to your brain at the same time and your body, which is why you often feel so refreshed after consuming mycelium versus depleted. You know, there's a very big difference in like chemicals versus plants, of course. And specifically, if you think of yourself like being plugged in to the internet, right? Being plugged into the web, that's like when you consume on a psychedelic space and a psychedelic adventure, you're plugging into the universal web. So the divine is going to take you for a ride for whatever it is that you're really being open to receiving or needing to see or to experience at that time. And it's the realms of this incredible plant that always being watching over us, always connecting with us, guiding us along our way.
Yeah. It's so comforting to my heart to know that these ancient mycelium networks have been here through entire time and is here as like such allies, as ancient teachers for us, and supporting this transition of humanity. So in the psychedelic movement, Katie, what are you most excited about? Like, what do you see with your visionary side? Or what do you hope to see, or what do you live to see in this space, specifically when it comes to mycelium?
I think what I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing is the legal space of psychedelics. We've had some major movements in the state of California. As of last week, we have had where they can be legal to consume, to have, and not just with mycelium, but with a series of other things that are part of this bill. It has passed Senate completely, and it is now going through the House. From my experience being from cannabis and hemp, which was a very, very tough road over many decades of this going through it, it is awesome. And I'm excited that mycelium is fast tracked. It is being plugged into case studies all over the world. It is being talked about at summits all over the world on an international level with governments, with places, people and hierarchies that have an impact on people more than, a much greater space of people. There's a lot of, the access is becoming more and more available, and specifically in the space of mental health, which is, as we know, something that it's an epidemic here in the United States, and psychedelics can really support getting people back on track with their mental health and taking that guide, so that having the access and the decriminalization within the movement as far as the legal side is really exciting, because it is moving very quickly. And that is what gets the people this access. And the sooner people have the access, the sooner that we are able to continue to up level as humans and as humanity. And it's amazing.
Wow. Wow. This is fantastic to hear. Wow, it's incredible that it's moving so fast. And yeah, there is always grace with every challenge in the collective. Always comes the equal amount of grace. And when I contemplate what is happening in the world, in the universe, right, with so much change, so much unknown for the people, these plans are being fast-tracked and being legally available to us, right? So people can transform the state of their mind, heal their bodies, and really see the opportunity in the change instead of fearing the change and being locked in resistance, right? It's all how we see it. And for us to see the opportunity, we gotta have that coherent brain, coherent state of being to really see the full picture of what's going on, right?
Absolutely. And what's incredible to me is to see, because I've been on the path of the plants and so many different ones, people are open. The masses are open to receiving the mushrooms in a way that they haven't been open to receiving other plants.
Yeah.
And that is by no mistake that this is all happening at the same time. We're craving this medicine to support us and expand and connect us and reconnect us individually to ourselves in a way that we haven't been. And this is amazing. It's an amazing time. I'm in deep gratitude just to be alive in this time, and not even to be part of the whole movement, then to be part of the movement. If I talk to my 12-year-old self and 13 and 14-year-old self, they would be pretty stoked at what was in their future. And it's really fun, and it's challenging, and it's exciting, because it's, as a messenger, there's the responsibility in how you deliver the message of the plants to the people so that they receive it, so that they can eliminate fear and be able to, and be open. And, something that's alive in the movement right now is all this, the buzz on microdosing. And microdosing is a really incredible way to enter into the movement, be part of the movement, without having to take a hero's journey or to go way beyond maybe you're prepared or ready to go. And so there are offerings out there in the form of capsules and gummies and chocolates that you can have these microdoses to be able to connect, be part of. And when you feel part of the movement, that's what you're doing when you're consuming. You're part of that network that we've been talking about this whole time. And it is something that really can be activated inside of you, and things that can really support you on a regular basis.
I love it. I'm enjoying this conversation so much, Katie. So I hope we're gonna turn this into psychedelic conversation series.
I think it would be so fun. I'm Jim's on board right here, so we're excited about it.
I love it. I love it. So if if my community and the people who are going to watch this video would like to access some of the products that your company creates or some of the brands that you cooperate with, where would they go and what would you recommend them to buy?
Okay, so you can reach out to me. CBD Nationwide is our company. Katie
CBD Nationwide.
And we're not limited to CBD. We work with all plants. We do not discriminate. We support all expansion. Some of the brands that I recommend checking out are Vita Optima, CBD.com. Vita Optima is the brand. They have a ton of different things in the space of hemp and cannabis. You can check in about Mind Magic. It'll be something that'll be released in the psychedelic space here at a later date. But for now, reach out if you're having any interest. And if you're interested in something that can be part of your ritual and connect you with mycelium, check out becomelucid.com. They've got a great nootropic coffee, chai, and matcha that we support them with in manufacturing. And that's become part of my regular routine, along with some microdosing and being connected to the functional mushrooms as well. Like I feel so much better and so much more alive when I'm connected to this. So I'm just really invite you guys all to check it out.
I love it. Thank you so much, Katie. This was so exciting and illuminating and just delightful. And I am inspired to share this video and to share this message with my community and beyond, so people know that there is such beautiful support that comes from the internet of the forest.
Internet of the forest.
Kind of blockages, highways can be unblocked and we can live the full potential human divine beings.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you next time.
Okay. Thanks, Katerina. Bye.